In this video now, we're going to address how to edit the 4 or 8 page program and why it's called that. Okay, so you come down, click here. You're going to click Program, purple button to get you into the template. And here we are in the template. As with the welcome poster, the way to change your heading, let's say instead of celebrating, you wanted to say honoring. So we can change that. We double click, backspace, honoring the life of, okay? And now that's a little low, so we're gonna click on it, and then you can see this little guy here with the arrows back and forth, so that allows you to move this to wherever it is you want to move it. So we're gonna move that up just a little bit so that looks better. And maybe we're gonna need to make it, let's see, and then we'll move this in a little bit so that honoring is not over the leaves. There we go, honoring the life of. And again, to change your loved one's name, backspace, highlight, and then you can change names. And any of these areas here, you can double click, backspace, change your text. Now to change up the picture, you would go to your uploads, and then you would upload your files. In this case, I've already uploaded the picture. And to get the picture in there, you're going to left click and hold down the left side of your mouse and just keep holding it down until you drag this over, and once your cursor gets into there, it will just automatically change that picture. So you can keep going along the way, any of your text, again, any text, and for any pictures, you can go in. Now I've run out of pictures of people, but we're just going to go to some photos here. So you can just left click, hold, and drag it over, left click, hold, drag it over, left click, hold, drag it over. Now when you drag these, they're going to automatically center out. If you don't like where they're at, you can double click on the picture, and when you do, you can see the whole picture. And again, you see these arrows up and down. They will allow you to actually move the picture to center it the way you want to. And then once you get it where you like the picture, okay, so in this case, I want the little girl right there in the center, and then you just click anywhere outside of that. Poof. Okay, so let's do that again. You can see how the family's off-centered here. So we're going to double click and then move the family into center. You just left click, hold, and drag. And now we have our pictures centered the way we like them. So that's how you do the pictures. So pictures and text, everything else is already formatted for you. Also, if you did not have your picture in a square on the website, but you chose the oval or the circle, instead of having to reformat all of that, down here, if you notice, I have the circle, and I also have the option with the oval. So to get these to the top, these up and down arrows right here, so we're going to use this up arrow and just click, click, click it again, click it again, and click it again. And now it becomes your first page. And then you would just go over here and delete this page, okay? And then we would come down and delete this final page. So now we just have what looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 pages. These are actually 8 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now the reason I call this the 4 or 8 page program is because if you choose to, and you don't have that much information and you just want to do this quickly, you can actually just use these first 4 pages, which look as 2, and they would be printed back to back. They would have all your information of your loved one. It would have other places for poems or thank yous or the funeral arrangements. It also has your order of service and a place for your obituary. And then this gets printed back to back. That's what would be called the 4 page program. Now, if you'd like to add more information, you can keep these other 2 pages, and these also get printed back to back. These 2 get printed back to back with these 2, and then that page goes inside of this one, which would make it the 8 page program. This one then allows you to have place for a poem if you like, or a story, place for loving tributes, place for more pictures, place for the names of the pallbearers if you like, place for a quote if you like, or a poem, and some more pictures. If you decide that you only want the 4 page program, then you would delete these other 2 pages. And now these would be the only 2 pages that you would use, and you would use them back to back. That's how they would get printed. Now I'm going to undo all this. This is my back button here. You've heard me say this before, but it's true. Best friend in Canva. You can just keep clicking until you get to the point where it goes right back to where we started. You want to end up with either 1 and 2 or 1, 2, 3, and 4 pages. These 2 pages are simply if you chose to have the circle or the oval. So the first thing you'll do with the program is decide whether you're using this as your first page, or this one as your first page, or this one as your first page. Whichever 2 that you are not using, you're going to delete those, and then you're going to use these arrows to move them up or down so that you have the correct first page right here. Then you decide whether you want to have 4 pages, which means you use just this first page and second page, or if you want to have the 8 pages, in which case you're going to use all 4 of these. Then you just start formatting them, bringing over other pictures, double clicking. We can move this one up or down, it looks like. So let's move this one right there. And then we can change text if we like. Then once you've got everything finished and you've ended up with your 4 or 8 pages, which look like 2 or 4 pages here on your canvas. This is called the canvas, this big piece here. Then you'll come over here to the share button. It's going to be time to print it, and you can download it, and then you'll want to go to PDF print. The first time that I print this, I usually use the PDF standard. I'll click that, and then you click over here, and that's showing that you're going to have all the pages, and then you can push done, and then you can download. The PDF standard is just for quick printing. You can print it off at home. Just make sure that things are lining up properly. Maybe give it a second look over for editing to make sure that everything is correct. But when you're ready to do your final printing, you want to go to PDF print, best for printing. And then you'll want to flatten out your PDF because that makes sure that you're printing, that it prints properly. And then you hit download. And once you do, it's going to come down as a zip file, and then you can open that up, and then you can print this at home, back to back, on white paper, on photo paper, or you can send it off to Prints of Love to have it done professionally for you. They make beautiful high gloss programs that are already scored in the center here so that it's for easy folding, or you can send it to any printer that you'd like to take it to. And that's it for the funeral program. Oh, I also just wanted to mention very quickly that you can change the background color here. And if you'd like to do that to have it match the option that you chose for your website, you can find out how to do that in the video called Theme Options. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next module.